Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of FSW from the Vault. My name is David Lawson Lifestyle, and this week we're featuring none other than J-A-Y. I'm talking about Jakob Austin Young. Now, this man used to be the FSW No Limits champion and has fought some of the greatest competitors this industry has to offer. And this week, like we do every week, we're going to get in depth with an up close and personal interview. So now let's go to ringside with Joe DeFalco for our first matchup.
Silverton Casino, a three-way. Jakob Austin Young, the holder of the cash in the case. Virgil Flynn, and this man, Disco Willie Mack.
Willie Mack's got a big size advantage in this match.
Yes, he does. But we also are calling this a no-limits match because, as we know with Willie Mack, he is a guy that can fly around with some of the best cruiserweights in the world.
Yes, we've discussed. He gets a lot of TV time, Willie Mack.
Willie Mack, he deserves it.
We discussed this last week that he's kind of got a very deceptive, unique look about him.
That is correct.
Like you look at Willie Mack and you don't expect him to bring the type of style that he brings.
Without a doubt, Virgil Flynn. And you know, this match is going to be very quick, fast, and furious. And look at that, and look at this, Virgil Flynn. These guys are just flying around 30 seconds in, Disco.
Well, this is no limits.
And Virgil comes flying with a kick to the side of the head, but there's Jakob Austin Young, a man that we know takes advantage of any little situation that arises.
Well, Bryce Harrison taught him that, taught him very well.
There is Jakob with a nice elbow. 1, 2.
No, you're not going to get him now.
As Willie Mack is on the outside. Main event tonight, Brian Cage taking on Mr. Ring of Honor, Roderick Strong.
Is that what it is? I thought it was the Mr. Backbreaker or something like that. What is he?
He's now known as Mr. Ring of Honor.
Mr. Ring of Honor.
I guess he's got more tenure than pretty much everybody else.
So what would you call me then? Mr. WCW?
Call you Disco Inferno.
Oh, nice.
And Willie Mack just nailed Jakob Austin Young. Listen to that big chop.
Ooh, wow.
And the clothesline.
Almost took his head off.
1, 2.
Yeah, see, this is where, like, okay, now, none of these guys would have an allegiance with each other, but Virgil Flynn and Jakob Austin Young would be a smart move.
Look at that Hurricane Run.
To try to, like, team up against Willie Mack. Would you agree with that?
That would have to be a smart move.
Wow,
but
look at this. I mean, Willie Mack is a lot bigger than these guys, a lot stronger than these guys. See, I don't really understand what I mean, you're not going to pin him with that. Well, maybe he could have. I don't know.
You know, it was a nice suplex. Again, Jakob Austin Young just trying to get the fall.
What Jakob Austin Young should be doing immediately while Willie Mack is down is remove him from the ring. That would be the smart thing to do. That's what I would do.
Neck breaker. 1, 2.
Oh, there he is.
And
see?
there's Willie to break up the fall.
Why? Because he was in the ring and in position, right?
And look at this. We've seen it before. Jakob Austin Young working a submission move.
Kind of a weird submission right there, huh?
Oh, and look at Willie Mack.
Well, Willie Mack's way stronger than these guys. Oof.
And he just fires the forearm.
Yeah, he's just pretty. I mean, he's smart. You know, his plan this match is like shock and awe. You know, just like hammer these guys. You know, big impact moves. You know, hit them hard, hit them fast.
And when we're in a three-way match like this where one pinfall wins, unless the other guy is outside of the ring, it's kind of hard to get that 3 count.
You know what's interesting about Willie Mack is
and look at that beautiful move. And Virgil going for a second one.
Smart.
1, 2.
Save. I don't know. He may not have got him anyway. You know what? Well, Willie Mack's kind of like in a gray area right now. He's been competing at a very high level. You know, I wonder if a guy like Sally is looking at Willie Mack as possibly a type of guy he would want to add to his collection.
Well, he is a great talent, no doubt about it. Had some opportunities.
I wonder what Willie Mack would say if Sally offered him a spot in the Dynasty.
That's an interesting question, Disco. Because you know he has all the tools. Look at that, the spinning elbow. He's got him up. You know, Willie adds a little flair to these moves. Very entertaining.
Yes.
Oh, look at that big leg drop. This could be it. 1, 2. And there's no shot with Virgil Flynn right there, who's now in the position of power. Not sure how much effectiveness those European uppercuts are. And look at this. Willie just catches them.
Whoa! What a suplex. I mean, how easy are those guys to throw around?
Or how strong is Willie Mack?
He's very strong.
And listen to the crowd.
Now he's going to fly high. Look at this.
Always very lively here at the Silver
Willie Mack is bringing out all the stops away. Whoa, smart move by Jakob Austin Young.
Shoving the referee.
I think he tripped. He made it look like it was an accident.
Should be an immediate disqualification, but this could cost him 1, 2.
No, he did not get him.
And Virgil's got him up.
Wow.
2.
No, he did not get him.
And once again, a Michinoku driver.
Pretty quick recovery there.
Virgil Flynn, the swing and a miss. But look at Jacob. Oh, and he nails him with the super kick. And look at that, down he goes. 1, 2, 3, and Willie Mack can't get there.
What an upset.
Welcome back to From the Vault, and right now we're going to get to my favorite part of the show, which is the exclusive interviews. We're going to hear from Jakob Austin Young himself on how he got started in the business, some of his favorite matches, and where he's going to go in 2016. Let's check it out.
Jakob Austin Young is a lot of different things, but first he's a student. I am a student, and it started right here at FSW. They've seen me grow up here from from the days when I had like terrible ring gear to the zebra pants, from Gorgeous and Young to the following to now. They've seen everything in my career. Jakob Austin Young is also a lot of different styles. Like a lot of times what you see in pro wrestling nowadays is a lot of innovation, but it's also good to appreciate the stuff that came before, because that's important too, and that's what I bring to the table. So when you see a Jakob Austin Young match, you're going to see a lot of stuff you probably haven't seen before, and it may be a little weird or just something you're not used to from a like pro wrestling standard, your TV standard, but it's the style that I like, and I think it's a style that's made me successful. My favorite match has to be kind of the one that kind of kicked off my year, which would have been my match that I had with Willie Mack. It was our second match at Sam's Town, and we went to a time limit draw. And even though I didn't give the fans what they wanted, which was 5 minutes more, I really felt that really started my 2015 off strong. I'd go on to win the Cash in the Case for my second time, the only person in FSW history to do that. I'd go on to win the No Limits title tournament with a huge upset over Ryan Taylor. And I know it's weird for me to say that my victory was an upset, but it really was, because that's how good of an opponent Ryan Taylor is, as well as an old rival of mine, Brandon Gadsden. We got in there a few times, and he showed me a different side of him, and it had to bring out a different side of me to compete with that kind of level that he brought. I got to challenge one of my trainers, Kenny King, and just to be in the ring with him was like a surreal moment. Not the fact that he is like Ring of Honor, TNA superstar. It was just the fact that I got to be in there with the guy that trained me, and I got to compete with him and show him just how much he's taught me, and then all the other things that I know. I'm a huge fan of Japanese wrestling. It's almost one of the reasons why I am a pro wrestler, and I got to go into the ring with Rocky Romero, former multiple-time IWGP Junior Tag Team Champion. Mentally, it was also very tough because I almost put him too much on a pedestal, and I had to climb that mountain to compete with him. But it taught me so much. Probably one of the biggest learning experiences I had this year was wrestling Rocky Romero.
Hi, David Lawson, Lawson Lifestyle, powered by Realty One and the Brocken Group. Yeah, I'm a realtor. Look at me, ma. I'm a real realtor. For all your Las Vegas real estate needs, call me. Do it! What he said.
JAY, I'd like to describe it as postmodern strong style. And that comes from a lot of influences. And a big thing for me is I grew up in the age where YouTube and the internet was a big thing, and I was able to find what wasn't just on TV. So when I would watch the WWE or TNA Impact, and I come across a guy like Japanese guys like Hiroshi Tanahashi or Tiger Mask, I'd find interest in who they are, and I'd research that because, again, I'm a big fan of culture. I just became enamored with it. I wanted to know everything about it. I want to learn its history, know who the wrestlers are, know who the American wrestlers were, and how they would go over there and then find success in America. Of course, everyone knows the greats: Eddie Guerrero, Malenko, Jericho. So for me, that's what I watched and what I studied and I imitated, in a sense, and where my style comes from. And you can see it in a lot of the moves that I do. The Sling Blade from Tanahashi, my STO, the variation from Okada's Rainmaker. But it also comes from my trainers. I was trained by the Whirlwind Gentlemen, Remy Marcel and Jack Manley. They were trained at the Inoki Dojo in LA by Shinsuke Nakamura.
Tearing me apart with words you wouldn't say. Suddenly tomorrow's moment washed away. 'Cause I don't have a reason and you don't have the time. But we both keep on waiting for something we won't find. Light on the horizon was brighter yesterday. Shadows floating over, the skies began to fade. You said it was forever, but then it slipped away. Standing at the end of the final masquerade, the final masquerade. All I ever wanted, the secrets that you keep. All you ever wanted, the truth I couldn't speak. 'Cause I can't see forgiveness, and you can't see the crime. And we both keep on waiting for what we left behind. The light on the horizon was brighter.
It seems like all of you want 5 more minutes.
Standing at the end of the final masquerade, final masquerade.
So my senior year of high school, I finally decided that I was going to find a way to get into pro wrestling. I didn't really know what I was doing. So I just kind of looked around and found some schools. Actually, closest thing I think I found, and the best idea I had, was to move to Ohio with my dad, because there was a school out there. I believe it was Shark Boys Academy. I didn't get to go do that, but what I did get to do was go to a live wrestling show in Arizona, my first independent live wrestling show. This is where I met a lot of the local wrestlers, and I met some not local wrestlers, but Vegas wrestlers who had drove to Arizona to compete. And I interacted with them, and we talked, and they mentioned that there was a school in Vegas, and me and another guy from Arizona decided to drive up and check the school out, and I was probably only in the ring for more than 2 hours, and I decided this is what I was going to do. I moved in with a couple of guys. I was living in a double-wide trailer for a good little bit on an air mattress, and I just started training. And I would take the bus. I'd take 2 buses every day to training. It would be about 3.5 hours. Training would start at 4, so I'd leave about 12 and get to the school and start training. And I didn't have a job at that point. I just had some money saved up, and so I just did that almost every day for 4 or 5 months when I first moved out here. And I really think that helped me out a lot, because all I was doing was wrestling. From training to going home to watch wrestling, to waking up to watching wrestling, to going to training, to studying and preparing myself to get into the business and getting involved in the sport.
Welcome, everybody, once again from the Vault. We're going back to 2013, Sally, the agency, Gregory Sharp and Clutch. with your good friend Gigi Severe.
Gonna go back in time. Gigi Severe, let me tell you something. I learned everything I don't know from Gigi Severe.
Taking on a tag team when Jakob Austin Young was first getting his feet wet inside the FSW ring and teaming up with Remy Marcel with another one of your pals, Scratch.
I was just gonna say, you see him out there?
Unbelievable.
Holy cow, it's like old home week, DeFalco.
How far we have come since 2013, Sally. And this is from the vault about Jakob Austin Young, a man who has climbed the ladder. This was one of his early matches, as well as two guys who are very impressive, very much improved, Gregory Sharp and Clutch.
My man Clutch, now, I haven't seen Sharp in a long time.
No, Sharp has toured the world.
Oh, has he?
You know, training all over. Canada, Mexico, New Orleans, Florida, California. He's all over.
I'll tell you. And
getting a wrestling education.
what's that, 3-time manager of the year, Scratch with a K?
That was one time when we were too tired of giving the award to you.
Thank you, DeFalco.
Almost like a Legends Award for being around. It was a participation award then.
And a nice blue ribbon. Remy Marcel, how does he do without Jack Manley? I don't remember.
You know, was a former elite champion, a former FSW No Limits champion, and for a brief instant was the FSW heavyweight champion.
Yes.
Defeating Sean Ricker.
Yes.
After he defeated your guy, Tyshawn Prince, many moons ago.
With the help of him.
That's right.
That's right.
If it wasn't for Remy Marcel.
Ricker wouldn't have been a hero.
There you go.
Wait, is that Ricker? Can we call him that?
That is now known as Eli Drake.
Indeed, Eli Drake.
You know, before he was a star. And Remy Marcel recently returned to FSW along with Jack Manley, the Whirlwind Gentleman, recently at the Silverton, took on their trainer, Rocky Romero from New Japan and Ring of Honor, and Steve Carino's kid, Colby.
I seen that.
Yes.
And let's not forget Clutch.
And
Welcome
Clutch.
back.
Yes.
There's a man that's came a long
Part
way.
of the bonus boys, just barely missing out on being dead, as well as FSW Tag Team Champion.
We would have took, we would prefer champion over dead.
Yes. And great athleticism, as we said. Gregory Sharp, 2013, just 22 years old, a couple of years in the business, and you could tell that Gregory Sharp definitely is a guy who has what it takes to be a big star in this business. Well, Jakob Austin Young was kind of a guy, you know, recently a trainee, getting some opportunities, and here's his first opportunity in the match. Nice European uppercut. Not sure about the trunks.
Well, I think that's why he. Oh, this was the Gorgeous and Young days,
Yes,
wasn't it?
yes. I think Romero got booted out again for the third time.
Right, for something.
And it was just Jakob Austin. Or Austin Young.
Austin Young.
The Boogie Woogie that he tried to make famous. Shades of Jimmy Valiant. But he still had that nice elbow.
And Scratch doing a fine job of taking care of his team right now. Fine job.
That's right. Rocky T taught him everything he knows about the fine art of management.
Nowhere to go but down. And our good friend Gigi.
Oh, and look at that. Beautiful forearm right to the jaw. Sharp's got to shake that one off.
You know what people don't realize about FSW is you get wrestling here. You don't get just guys jumping off of things.
That's right.
You get work. You get a match.
And there is Clutch breaking up the count. You know, one thing you can say about Clutch from 2013, he's still got that bitter beer face. Always a guy who never seems to smile, does he?
He's in the zone, the Falcon.
Is that what it is?
He's in the zone.
Over the top, Remy Marcel. Oh, not very gentlemanly.
Yeah.
Thank God he wasn't a gentleman back then.
Well, they still ain't gentlemen. And how about a nice shout out for Anthony, no longer around?
Who's he? I don't recall him.
He's that guy in the stripes. Wasn't that his name? Or
Yeah,
Phil?
yeah,
What was his name?
yeah, something like that. Oh, and look at this, Gigi
Oh,
Severe.
yeah, tough guy.
Oh, and look at that, right into the guardrail. Gregory Sharp. And down goes Remy Marcel. Urkel, there you go. That's right. I forgot about those.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They used to call Sharp
Yes.
Urkel.
And Clutch making his first appearance. The bad man from the desert sand.
Mr. Mollywop himself.
You know, before you got him under your wing, Sally.
Do I
You know, there was some raw potential. You were able to see it back then, huh?
Yeah, of course.
But he had no direction.
The agency, and then he tried to team up with some other random guy. I think him and Sugar Brown, it just worked.
Well, you know, it seems like these guys, they seem to hang out together, and they kind of bond 24/7, you know.
Like the Commandos.
Yeah, you know. I just kind of find it hard that anybody would want to be with Gigi Severe hanging out with him, other than if he was buying lunch or something.
Which he never does.
So there
He
you go.
skipped out on a bill
That's right,
one time.
I remember that. Yes.
I had to make calls to everybody to get $30 back.
I remember it well. 1, 2.
At the now defunct Don Antonio.
Yes, former FSW sponsor.
That's right.
And right now, Remy Marcel taking a beat down from the agency when they were kind of a strong faction here in FSW.
You had Clutch, Sharp, Vegas.
Later on.
Later on. Oh, Cedric.
Cedric the Hitman, yes.
That's right.
He was kind of the glue that bonded them together. When Cedric kind of left, they kind of fell apart.
And then didn't Gigi fight a match, and that's why he's no longer around?
No, that was before him.
Oh, that was before that?
Yes. We're going back in time against the Von Dooms.
When he came back
Yes.
in the singlet.
You know.
He looked like King Kong.
He got tossed out of the ring way better than you did, Sally, with
All right.
Sean Rick.
In this particular venue too, I believe.
Yes,
No.
It was the old Boulder
It was
Highway
the old
one.
Boulder Highway one.
And Sharp with the 2 count as Austin Young, as he was known then, spending a lot of time on the outside. Not really a showcase of his skills here from the vault.
Well, you know what? This is Remy. Remy, he's a spotlight hog. You know what I mean? Jack used to tell me that all the time.
Is that right?
Yeah. He's trying to create a little dissension in the ranks. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Disco does it all the time. He always puts over the prowess and the skills of Jack Manley.
Jack is a beast. We've had many clashes together. Remy, you know.
Maybe you just guys haven't seen eye to eye, you know?
Who, me and Remy?
You and Remy. You know, me and Remy saw eye to eye for a very long time.
Yeah.
Then we didn't.
Never did.
Because he lost his sight. But then he found it again.
But he still got the smile.
That's right. And he's got the fro. And the crowd loves the fro.
Yeah, they do.
And right now they want to make the tag. They want him to make the tag to Austin Young.
Yo, watch out, Clutch!
Oh, and look at this. He ducks under. And here comes.
No good for Jake.
Oh, nice double drop kick off the top rope. And you can see the fire even a few years ago.
And that fire led him to the championship.
That's right. It also led him to turning on his friends later down the line. And align with Bryce Harrison in the following.
I don't know if he was turning. He did what he had to do, what was best for himself.
Well, you know, he went on to become a No Limits champion. You know, and he ran the No Limits division for a while. And oh, and look at that huge clothesline. And as we've said before, you could see the improvement. Jakob Austin Young. You know, he definitely had some skills, but he was very, very young in the business. Same thing with Gregory Sharp. You know, sometimes that one mistake cost him. Look at that big kick to the back.
Well, what's he doing? You know you don't belong up there.
It's the thinnest I've seen Gigi Severe.
He's very slim.
And right now, Gregory Sharp is telling him he's got it handled. He is not happy that Gigi Severe butting into the match. And look at that time away, and look at that. Oh, beautiful.
See, as a manager, you got to time that.
Oh,
right.
and look at this. Clutch nails Gregory sharp. And out goes Clutch.
What just happened?
It all seemed to backfire when Gigi Severe tried to get involved. Look at this.
That's
1, 2, 3, and there you
on.
have it. Jakob Austin Young, Remy Marcel. They are victorious inside the FSW arena.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to another action-packed episode of From the Vault. I'm your host, David Lawson. Until next time, we'll see you from the Vault.